This class is going to be all about internal rotation and just control of your flexion as well. So we're going to have them start off with a body warm-up of neck cars, scap cars, shoulder cars, spine cars, Jefferson curls, standing, just rolling vertebrae by vertebrae until they get to the stretch nice and slow, and then rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae. And then having them do ankle cars, so they can do them standing or seated, flexing that foot, internal rotation all the way down into plantar flexion, external rotation into dorsiflexion, 30 seconds to the right, 30 seconds to the left. Make sure that they're not using their toes too much, really just trying to isolate that ankle joint. And then I have them doing dorsiflexion pulses, so standing feet hips width apart. We're gonna bring our knees over our toes and pain-free find the deepest stretch that we can while pushing our heels down into the ground and then back up. And I'll have them do about 30 seconds of work there just to get their ankles nice and warmed up. Then I have an extended warm-up, so I only have a stick at home, but take a dowel and we're gonna have them pin it to the wall, and they're gonna have to use their core twisting in to hold it, and they're gonna perform, they have to balance too. They're gonna have to perform a hip car on their leg, forward and back, one forward, one back, nice and slow and controlled. And now I keep going around and trying to knock the dowel out of their hands. So just make sure that they're really pushing it into the wall. After that, I have them take it down, hold on to the wall, and we're gonna do straight leg cars. So I'm gonna have them take that leg up into as much flexion as they can without compensating, and externally rotate it. Take it out to the side, internally rotate it, and bring it all the way down into hip flexion without utilizing the spine. This is all use of the hip and the leg, so there's not a lot of natural hip extension in most humans. When they do, it's because of their low back. So again, it's gonna be straight leg up, turn the toe out, bring it out to the side, turn the toe in, finish the circle as much as they can. And then reversing it would look very similar. So coming up through internal rotation, once I hit the side, I start to bring it into external rotation and front. And for that one, slow and cued. So I'll cue them, all right, straight legs, bring that leg up into flexion, turn the toes out, bring that leg out to the side, turn the toes in, bring that leg all the way back, squeezing that butt forward as you pull that heel back, keeping that core tight. Squeeze that butt again, hips forward, heel back. Lift that leg out to the side so that the side of your leg is up to the sky. Rotate that toe to the ceiling as you lift that leg. Turn the toe out, bring it back in front. And again, if they can bring their leg as high as they can with the straight leg, but if they can't, down here works too. Whatever really works their flexion. Even if they have to come down here or up here, then they have to lower it on the rotation. That's okay too. Just really working that hip flexion and straight leg. Then I have bent knee hip flexion, 30 seconds passive, 30 seconds active. They're gonna take that leg, they're gonna pull it in, and they're gonna hold 30 seconds. And then whatever passive range of motion they have, for the next 30 seconds, I'm gonna have them try to hold it there. Then I'm gonna have them do the same thing out to the side, lock it, and hold it. So 30 seconds, 30 seconds. And then we switch sides and we do the same thing. We take the dowel, we pin it in, then we do the straight leg, and then we do the passive and active bent knee flexion. Then before now we go sit down. So the next portion of the class is going to be a kinetic stretching, 90-90 kinetic stretching. So I'm going to have them find this position, and usually if you're sitting in a good 90-90, leaning forward and leaning towards that back leg, you'll feel a good stretch all around, and that's kind of where I want them. Just make sure that you solidify the 90-90 angle in both the front leg and the back leg, so 90 degrees from hip to knee, knee to ankle, ankle to toe, same on the back leg. holding this for 30 seconds. Then we're gonna do forward leans. They can choose to hold on to the ground if they can comfortably sit up without some kind of lean happening. Otherwise, hands on the ground pushing through, arching that back, thinking chest way in front, leaning forward, finding that stretch as deep as they can. They don't have to lean forward a whole lot, and then back up. What I tell them in this motion is that as they're leaning forward, they're gonna lift or attempt to make this front leg lighter. And then as they're sitting up, they're gonna make that front leg heavier. So lighter, push down, heavier. And then after we do 10 of those, we're gonna rotate. I usually have them take their hand, put it on their belly button, keeping this hip down, rotate towards that back leg. So there's this counter action. I'm going this way, my hip is going this way. So I really feel it in that front hip. Rotating again 10 times towards that back leg. If they have a hard time letting go, they can still do this. Look, I'm still keeping my hand on the ground, and I can still do this, even if I'm leaning a little bit. After the rotation, we're gonna pick that back heel up, keeping this knee down, rotate the other knee as far away as possible, getting a nice stretch through our groin, and then rotate back. This one I do lean a little bit for, unless they're really flexible. After that, we rotate and we just continue the stretch, keeping the knees as far away from one another as possible. And I have them grab the inside of their calves, solidify their position, and I put the clock on for 30 seconds, and I do neck cars while they're stretching. In this position, they should really feel it throughout their groin. Then from here, I have them put their hands behind their back, and I have them pick their knee up, and I have them bring it into butterfly. Okay, and I just have them kind of stretch in butterfly for a second. Then I have them go into a split transition. So I'm gonna turn this way so you guys can see me. So split transition, they're gonna go bring the knee up, this is a challenge, rotate the knee, open the knee, send the leg out as far as you can. So the goal is to get as far back as you can. I'll turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing here. I have them pick the ankle up, trying to get the ankle in line with the knee. That's because it's harder. Rotate, open it up out to the side, and try to get it in as much of a split as possible. And then I'm just gonna have them roll forward and just kind of feel out this stretch just a little bit. I'd say no more than 30 seconds. And then I have them go into 90-90 on the other side. So my left leg was forward, now my right leg is forward. And we repeat that whole sequence on the other leg, except the next time we do it, when we're in bear stretch, we're gonna do spine, just cat-cows. Really rounding it back, trying to arch as much as they can. And then after that, we're gonna have them stand up. We're gonna work a squat kinetic movement. It's simply an eccentric and isometric squat 10 times. What I want them to do is really drive their external rotators, driving those knees out, sitting that butt down, adding extra force throughout their body. And then when they get there, isometrically holding. I have them do it in prisoner to really force the thoracic spine to be up and then drive up. So I had them do 10 of those. And then frog stretch, which we're all very familiar with. After we did the 10 kinetic movement with eccentric, isometric, just to strengthen their squat because it's fun. Here, I hold my squat or my frog for 2 minutes, and then instead of doing pails and rails, I do lift off. So I'm really lifting that ankle, trying not to roll forward, tucking my hips under, sending my butt back, lift off, and then the other side, lift off. For that one, it's a 2-minute passive stretch and then 30 seconds of lift off on the right, 30 seconds of lift off on the left, with about a 2-second isometric hold at the top. If there's time, just end them with some gentle cars on their hands and knees, just getting those hips unlocked, and then the class will be done.